Hello, how are you this morning? So don't worry, I will not speak about GDPR. Not that it's a minor topic. You had a talk about it, but it may be a bit late to worry about it with few days before complying. So I will speak about something else that is not discussed enough to my taste, the human factor. So we all read this in newspaper and social media. If you have data, you apply something magic called machine learning, and you get value. We read the same if you replace machine learning by AI, artificial intelligence, or deep learning. And if you think about it, a few years ago, we were reading the same with big data. So first, that's true. With these technologies, you can build a system that delivers value. But it's no magic. You see question marks. You need to do things before you run your favorite machine learning algorithm or train your favorite deep learning model. And you must prepare data. Data scientists do a lot of, you are data scientists. You know, going from data to good model is not that easy. And once you have models, you need to put them in a production environment, which is also something not trivial. So I could have, and we give talks about how our platform helps you fill the question marks. But even with a good platform like IBM Data Science Experience, there are others, of course, it's not enough because very often machine learning and AI is used to deal with humans, to help humans make better decisions or guide them. And this is where problems can arise. So let me give you two examples, customers of ours. So in my first example, we developed with a partner for a large hotel company. I think it is a Holiday Inn. We developed an automated pricing system. So we all know that the same room can be sold at different price depending on when in the year it is the stay is and how long in advance do you make the reservation. Basically, the more demand, the higher the price, and the closer to the, well, it depends on the demand, but price basically set to maximize margin for the hotel, but not only, also please frequent customers, etc. So our partner did a very good job, and on the pilot, we found that the margin of the hotel was improved by more than 2%. And at the time of the pilot, hotel industry was a very low margin. I think it's a bit better now. And this mean an improvement of 50% of their margin, 50%. So basically, your profit goes up by 50%, so it's really interesting. And at that time, this would mean for the industry billions of additional revenue, additional profit. So when you develop an application with this return on investment, you would think that people would adopt it overnight. Not really. That's where the human factor comes in. So the pilot was presented to all the managers worldwide for this hotel chain. And managers all had the same reaction. They said, I know what I'm doing. I've been doing this for 20 years. It's not those young kids called data scientists that will teach me how to do my job. So they did not adopt it. So the reason was managers thought they were doing a fairly good job. And actually, we had to make them realize that no, they were leaving money on the table. We must show them some pain before they can accept a cure. So what we did, well, our partner did, was to do a gaming application with a simulated hotel and simulated competitor hotel And managers were asked to set room price. And the simulator was simulating the business. And they were competing against our automated pricing system. And the automated pricing system was consistently beating the managers by a few % margin. So here is a snapshot of the UI. Well, see, if we were selling a game with this UI, we would not make much money, right? But it's informative for managers. And what is very important is the bottom right number, 2.6 is the difference in margin between what the AI system was doing versus the manager. So when people see it, they start again, and after they've tried several times to beat the system, they trust it. They see the value. And then adoption began. So the lesson is, when you start an AI project, a machine learning project, sure, you must think about how you go from data to models, how you go to models to a production environment. But more, if humans are involved in how prediction scoring is used, then you must include how human will react from the start. Maybe you need to train them. Maybe you need to revisit your business workflow. Maybe you need to change approval process. Or maybe you need to have a game like this. The point is, you need to make sure that users will trust and love the system instead of fighting it. And make no mistake, people can feel threatened by AI systems. So think about how to make people adopt what you're building from the start, not as an afterthought. So I've discussed what to do once you have models. Let's look at what you do before. So let me comment this in a minute. Just to stay in the hotel industry, Orbitz, using machine learning, was also setting price automatically, so it's travel. And users soon found that if they were connecting using an Apple device, they were shown more expensive price. And this was not very good for public creation. But it was good for the machine learning model. And instead of blaming machine learning, we should be a bit astonished that machine learning learned a bias, and that's the name, that Apple owners are spending more than other people. So if you don't want this bias in your system, in this case it's simple, you don't use a device as one of your input feature to the model. Then the model will not learn the bias. But bias can be a bit more complex. So MIT made a study. All major cloud vendors, IBM included, have a face recognition service. And they took members of parliament from all over the world, and they ran experiments on major vendors. And in our case, we had a 0.3 error rate for recognition of white male. We were quite pleased about it, can improve a bit, but near perfect. But when we look at other categories, like a black woman, accuracy was a disaster. And in this case, it's not because of the algorithm, the model, whatever, it's about the training data. The training data did not have enough diversity. So we fixed it by retraining the model using a more representative data set. This is just to show again that the human factor here plays in how you train your models. What data do you use? If there is a bias in your data, the machine learning technology will learn it. So the conclusion is, in many cases, when you build AI or machine learning systems, think about the human factor in how you prepare data, make sure you don't inject a bias, and also make sure that results are acceptable. And this concludes my talk. You can come visit us at the booth. I will be there if you want to follow up. Thank you very much.